Bonjour, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Wow, this is quite a force we are facing. That's a lot of torpedo boats. They're very small though. Okay, so these are my share design torpedo boats. A lot of them. Interesting. It would actually be nice if let's see, yeah. If we can get a peace treaty with Russia, and then claim a bunch of these torpedo boats as war operations, and give them quick refits, because they're essentially the same as my own. Just to bolster our number of torpedo boats, because the Russians sure do have a lot of them. They also have a lot of destroyers, so at least the destroyers are necessarily quite new, because they're not unlocked from the start. But the torpedo boats are 1890 designs, at least the Drakon SD class. This one is probably a bit newer. I'm not sure if it's better though. It's probably not. Oh yeah, and they got a bunch of these Alexander Nevsky. Also my design, but they're very old. These are 1890s armored cruisers. Or ironclads, really. So they're kind of outdated. The battleships too. 1890 designs. We are badly outnumbered. I think we are very low on ammunition. But we might have a chance. Yeah, not 47 destroyers as the last time we fought the Russians, but that's still quite a few. That's 29 total destroyers and torpedo boats. Let's see. Let's see what we are doing here. Battleships all form up. They're supposedly spotted north. We only have one torpedo boat. The other three were destroyed the last battle. In fact, do not follow, just sail your own line. Right. Torpedo boat, I guess, can just be a scout. .5 kilometer torps. There they are. It's more like northwest, but okay. Not sure if we can get close enough to launch. Because while I cannot see them right now, these battleships are surrounded by a swarm of light cruisers, destroyers, and torpedo boats. What's the ammunition situation here? Not too terrible. The battleships sure could use more ammo for their main guns. Armored cruisers have plenty of AP, but not that much HE ammunition. And HE is probably what they're gonna need the most of. Gonna continue on with that torpedo boat. One thing I could do, I could hope their torpedo boats and destroyers decide to just go for this torpedo boat and then have it retreat in the opposite direction of my main fleet and just draw their entire screen away. That could work. Potentially. There we are. Now we had problems with the torpedo tubes on this torpedo boat design. I think that's mostly if they traverse to one side and then they have to traverse around. Then they get stuck on each other. And I really do wish I'd given these the 4.5 kilometer torpedoes, because then I'd be launching right now and then getting away. Now it's time to get away and hope they follow. That plan just failed because we took a hit and started flooding. And my torpedoes are gone, so... yeah. They will not be pursuing this torpedo boat very far. You can see this is essentially the same design, just not been refit with double torpedo tubes. And it's surrendered. Let's have these drop to cruising speed. At least, let's see. So you can target that one. And yeah, they keep becoming invisible because of the smoke screens. Meaning I have to reissue the targets. And the secondary guns. Like, we do not have enough main gun ammunition for you guys to keep changing targets on me. There. And again, we got main guns targeting torpedo boats. Actually, let's just turn those off. Until we're close enough that their actual targets will not turn invisible all the time. Because the secondary guns are good enough for these smaller targets. so. And we are scoring good hits with those secondary guns. We're gonna have to turn off the 9s too. On the cruisers. There we go. I think we are free of the smoke screens ruining things now. So, we can start taking on targets with the main guns. Like so, and you are gonna set those to save. Armored cruisers, you get to target the light cruisers. Right. I think all their smoke screens are on cooldown now, so... we should be free of that kind of interference for a little while. "13 knots. I can slow you down too. What kind of armor do you have on the destroyers? 0.7. At 60%. The torpedoes are 1.4 kilometers. And some of these torpedo boats are of a... is that also my design? Because it sure does look like it. I think it is. That's not one of the 1890 designs. $1895 maybe? I don't know. They're closing in. Let's see what's the armor on these light cruisers. 4.8. Making sure they all have main and secondary targets. Danke, you are supposed to use your main guns on something big. And their battleships are closing in now too. If I had a full squadron of torpedo bolts and not just the one I tried to lure them away with, it would be very nice to have them ready now. Then come around and go for the battleships. Which are not really bad, even if they are a little bit outdated. First enemy armored cruiser sunk. Took some pretty big main belt hits. On it. I guess I just got to do this on with the game set on pause if I want to actually select targets. Like so. You have main and secondary targets. Yeah, all the 9.5 inch guns are targeting light cruisers, as they should. Let's see. Let's get a let's get a nice thumbnail picture here. So maybe. Just without turning the outline green, because that looks not good. Like so. That is a lot of damage being dished out. But they're still coming closer. Let's turn the torpedoes off on the cruisers before we have any accidents here. We do strike an enemy cruiser with torpedoes from our battleships. We all see way in the back here, taking some pretty big hits from 12-inch guns, suffering flash fires. Once again. Get some good targets here. to get as good use as possible out of the ammunition that I have. But so far, we are getting good use out of that ammunition. We still haven't ran out. It's coming very close now. The cruisers start taking care of those. They broke off. Let's see, you can actually turn your torpedoes back on. Poteau as well. But there's no danger of these guys launching into my battleships. There we go, light cruisers being deleted. Love to see it. But there are still more that need to be taken care of. As for the battleships, let's see, I guess you can use secondary guns on that guy. Doing well. For now, but ammunition is dwindling. And they have more intact torpedo boats here, and 2 battleships. And more light cruisers. We're just gonna have to deal with that when it comes to it. C2 are torpedoes free. gonna have to have my battleships deal with the enemy battleships very soon. Or at least at some point. But getting rid of this is actually first priority. Maybe we can actually get a better picture like this. We'll see. I'll have to make the judgment which is better when it comes to uploading. Slow you down again. Terrible closing in on Victor. My armored cruisers actually have to speed up now. They're getting isolated from behind. Terrible, can you deal with that enemy cruiser? It's getting very close. We're actually gonna have it torpedoed. There it goes. Now Plateau is actually taking quite a bit of damage. She's had her torpedoes detonate. That's where that damage came from. Now you back here. Justice, Flandre. You can already start targeting those battleships. 6-inch guns have run out of high explosive ammunition. Cruisers, you can slow down again. And you will need to split your fire a little bit. Ammunition situation is not looking great, but at least there are not that many targets left. With the armored cruiser main guns mostly having been focused on light cruisers, they have mostly been firing AP, which they had a lot of. So they still have plenty of HE ammunition. So the battleship line turned towards the enemy battleships. In fact, let's turn off the main guns until we're closer. We can't really do too much to that armor at this range, or can we? Now the armor I'm measuring against here is, I think, 60% or plus 60%, while the enemy has only plus 10. Wasn't it? Plus 15? Plus 15 and plus 10. A little bit of variation due to like ship flaws, but are we all targeting the same ship again, guys? We have talked about this. Well, there are not that many targets left, so I guess it's fine. There we go, that torpedo boat getting sunk. Battleships, accelerate. I want them on a parallel course to the enemy battleships at, I don't know, like 4,000 or 5,000 meters? Let's say 4. There we go, Bogati finally taking some hits. Now these two are actually disappearing beneath the waves. They're no longer soaking up the hits. Now, armored cruisers, that HE ammunition you have been hoarding will be put to use. 2.7 kilometers. Now let's turn the torps off. And done with that. Good. .7-kilometer torpedoes on both classes of battleship. Archangel Uriel taking a lot of main belt penetrations from my 12-inch guns. And one battleship goes down. The second one, so far, well, no longer unmolested. Let's see how long it's gonna last. Those main guns now with a almost 90% accuracy at this range. Should have plenty of penetration power to go through the main belt. Oh yeah, there we go. That's half the battleship gone. Let's add some torpedoes too, just to make sure. There we go. Executed. Close range main belt penetrations. Now we are definitely turning the main guns off because they are no longer needed. And who knows what kind of task force we're gonna have to fight next month. Yeah, we didn't really leave any torpedo boats alive to be taken as war prizes, but I guess I can always just build more. I have the recipes. So, one torpedo boat lost in a not very good attempt at drawing the enemy torpedo boats away. That wasn't really necessary anyway. But this squadron is going to need a new squadron of torpedo boats assigned to it, no matter what. And I think one of my armored cruisers took some, yeah, Patho. That was from a 2-inch gun, actually, knocking out the torpedoes. That was Bogatyr, I think. Yeah, 7.3 thousand. That checks out. Now, the Russians should not be taking the Philippines. They have more ships here, though. Yeah, they have another task force. 2 light cruisers, 6 destroyers, 3 torpedo boats. If we can just get this force resupplied, which they should be, next month, they can deal with that. That's a rather light force. They're getting reinforcements, though. Another light cruiser and a torpedo boat. A light cruiser and destroyer, excuse me. And then there's just this force to deal with. So we got 2 more months remaining of this invasion of Burma. And it looks like we're holding. This land offensive is stalled. It's down to 0%. This one I cannot really do much about, but at least it seems to also have stalled or not made any progress. What else do the Russians have? Let's take a look at their navy roster. They got 3 battleships. Those are the ones up here near Vladivostok. But that's all the capital ships they have left. How about Britain? They, of course, have a lot of capital ships left. Not that many destroyers and torpedo boats, not compared to Russia. But a lot of other stuff. And many of those ships are quite modern, because I've been keeping tabs of what they've been building here. Now, having taken Gibraltar, we got 2 task forces here that are free to move and do things. But what should we do? Well, the obvious answer would be North Egypt, wouldn't it? Because then I control both entrances to the Mediterranean. But also, I am kind of wanting a fight here. Wait, where's this task force going? Now you're trying to get past. But you cannot go through there anymore. Because I've blocked you. Let's go sink some cruisers. Let's raid Scapa Flow with this task force before going back to take North Egypt. Yes, I think that's a good and slightly ballsy kind of move. Now let's see on research. We're getting the Mark II 14-inch gun very soon. And no, I will not be prioritizing the dreadnought research. If I wanted dreadnoughts early, I would have started the campaign in 1910. I have been prioritizing mostly these two. That's how I got Mark II 13 and Mark II 12-inch already. And also engines, just to get steam turbines. But I kind of got what I want to have from those already. So I'm just going to leave just large guns on priority for now. And later on maybe switch to very large guns. Or add that one too. And we're getting some cool tech next month. 7,000 ton light cruiser. No new light cruiser hull though. We're kind of limited to the one that just looks like an armored cruiser. We got 34,000 tons of free capacity, but we are also bleeding a lot of money right now on maintaining transport capacity. So maybe not a good idea to build something right now. We're gonna need space for repairs too, if some ships are damaged. Actually, let's do a quick refit design of the TB90. Let's fix those torpedoes and then build some more of them. So let's see if we can identify the problem here. So these can turn, right? But if they turn like this, or like that, see, they all turn like this to fire at a target on that side, right? I think you were more like this, yes. And then they turn around to fire that way. Now you can turn. That's what happened in that previous battle. The sternmost torpedo launcher turned around, then this couldn't turn because it was blocked by that. This couldn't turn, this couldn't turn, this couldn't turn. So, right. So then, what we're doing, we're reducing the number of torpedo launchers on the ship, just giving them even more space. And we're also making them 18-inch, and no longer fast. What kind of range do we get from them now? 4.8 kilometers. I think that's pretty good. Come on now. Stop lagging when I'm placing you. Everyone has space to move? Enough personal space? Yes. That should not give me any problems. And the torpedoes are now bigger and have longer range. They're quite slow though. That's just something. Anything else? Anything else I can add? Anti-flood 2 maybe? Let's keep them afloat a little bit longer. Bulkheads would be nice. That may be too much. I think we're good to go now. I think this is good enough. Yes, the 3-inch guns cannot fire. That is fine. That's by design. The gun is just there because it has to be there. And what's nice now is because since the torpedoes have so much space to turn around, upgrading these to triple tubes and later on 19, 20-inch torpedoes shouldn't be a big problem. Let's see how many of these I can refit right now. That many. That's just a simple 1-month refit, right? So they should be ready next month. I've got a squadron here in Djibouti. That should be ready to sortie out for ambush missions. Let's build 12 of them. We're gonna need a new squadron in Shanghai. You can put 8 of them there, actually. And these 4 in my new port. Where are you, Gibraltar? Here. Good. So then, that was this episode. I might be losing some territory in Africa. I think that's fine. We can claim back a lot more as war operations with this kind of victory points lead. Goodbye, and take care.